Well, I'm sure you guys are probably a little confused as to why I'm doing a second review on Star Wars Rebels. Well, let me explain. Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? The King of Games 98 here, and well, as I just said, I'm sure to all who watch, you're probably a little confused. Why am I doing another review of Star Wars Rebels? Well, let me explain. At the time when I did my original review of Star Wars Rebels, that was just of the first season, and that was because, as I explained, I don't have cable at my house, so I couldn't actually watch the show when it was originally airing on TV, and so basically, if I can find it on DVD, Blu-ray disc formats, I'll pick them up and watch them, but if I'm not able to, then I can't watch them. Well, thanks to a friend giving me an account on her Disney Plus account, I now have access to both Star Wars The Clone Wars, the complete series, and Star Wars Rebels, the complete series, on Disney Plus. And so, I'm sure you guys can see where I'm going with this. For the last 4 to 5 days, I have been binge watching Star Wars Rebels to watch the whole series and to give it a proper review. Well, a few minutes ago, I just finished watching Star Wars Rebels, the whole series, seasons 1 to 4, not just season 1, and now it is time to give it my proper review and my proper thoughts, feelings, opinions, and a proper rating. So let's get started. If you've never seen Star Wars Rebels and are kind of curious as to what it's about, this is basically how I'd sum up the show without really ruining or spoiling anything. Star Wars Rebels is set between episodes 3, Revenge of the Sith, and episode 4, A New Hope. And it basically tells the story of a rogue band of rebels with a Jedi with them, and they find a young kid by the name of Ezra Bridger who's force sensitive, who tags along with them by mistake, and they end up keeping him, and then they realize he is force sensitive, so then Kanan Jarrus, the guy who's already a Jedi, ends up training him to become a Jedi, and long story short, they band together as a band of rebels, and they shape the galaxy to fight against the Empire, and in doing so, they're building the rebellion that you would eventually end up seeing in the original Star Wars trilogy, i.e. episodes 4, 5, and 6, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So, that's basically how I'd sum up Star Wars Rebels, and with that, for the remainder of this 5-minute review, I'm going to talk about my thoughts, feelings, opinions about Star Wars Rebels, and then we're going to wrap up this 5-minute review. Okay, so again, I know I previously reviewed Star Wars Rebels, and I actually, before making this video, I went back and I rewatched that video to hear what I had to say back then. I can't even believe, guys, I made that video in 2018, so that's officially 2 years old now. So Star Wars Rebels was supposed to be a follow-up to Star Wars The Clone Wars, and Disney tried really hard to make it better than Star Wars The Clone Wars, and unfortunately, there was just no way you could top Star Wars The Clone Wars, because it's Star Wars The Clone Wars. But I will say, as another Star Wars TV show series, this is amazing. The storytelling and stories itself that it tells in this series are amazing. By far, my favorite season of Rebels is season 2, just because of the amount of Clone Wars references. And unfortunately, I couldn't choose just one episode that was my favorite episode, so I chose 2 that I really liked, and those are both from season 3, and it's The Last Battle and Twin Suns. Those are my favorite episodes. Really, I can't say anything bad. Well, no, scratch that. Really, only 2 things come to mind that I didn't like about Star Wars Rebels. Number one was how every lightsaber blade looked in Star Wars Rebels. The lightsaber blades, or the lightsabers themselves, whichever you want to call it, they looked bad. They looked like crap. I'm sorry. They didn't even look like actual real lightsabers. They looked like toy lightsabers. So that was my first thing that I had against it. And my second thing is, oh my God, the ending. How it ends. It leaves so many unanswered questions, but at the same time, I love it. So those are really the only two bad things I could say about Star Wars Rebels. Other than that, I absolutely loved it. My final rate for Star Wars Rebels is going to be a solid 8 out of 10. If you're a fan of the Clone Wars, or if you're a fan of the prequel trilogy, this is a must watch. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.